The specific request is to modify Section 17 of the Special Exception Use Application number 04.50, granted February 7th, 2005, modified June 3rd, 2005, and again modified on November 20th, 2008. Specifically, the applicant is seeking to change the outward appearance to permit the installation of a 51-inch by 45-inch decorative cupola with a 1-inch by 2-inch by 38-inch ornamental cross on the roof. The placement would be 3.5 feet to 4 feet from the rear or west end of the private chapel. 47 property owners were notified. The city.
And if you would, hold on just a minute. And sir, are you the applicant or the representative of Christ at the Sea Foundation?
Yes, sir, I am. I'm the chairman of the board of Christ at the Sea Foundation.
And for the record, would you please state your name?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Virgil Miller Newton, a retired neuropsychologist. My religious name as an Orthodox priest is Father Kazian Newton. And I reside at 13253 Boca Ciega Avenue, which is approximately across the street from the property involved.
And how would you like to be referred to tonight? Which name?
Father Kazian is fine, doesn't matter.
And at this time, I think it'd be appropriate to go ahead and swear in everybody of Ms. Cohen,
I swear I don't.
Father, and anybody else that intends to give any testimony tonight, either on this case or on the next case, or if you intend to speak at all, if at this time you would raise your right hand, and each of you solemnly swear affirm that the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
And before you come to the podium or speak, or when you start speaking, if you would, just announce on the record your name and address and indicate that you have taken the oath.
I have a couple of other items to go over, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. I received correspondence that I'd like to review at this time. The first item is from Tara Stewart. Dear Ms. Cohen, the following letter pertains to application 09.04 special exception modification request by Christ at the Sea Foundation. If you would please read it and enter it into the official record, I would be very much obliged. Sincerely, Tara Stewart, President of ARIA. And it follows as this. This is on letterhead of the Association for Reform of Institutional Abuse. October 25 is addressed to myself at the city pertaining to application 09.04. Dear Ms. Cohen, Christ at the Sea Foundation is requesting a modification of the special exception use number 04.40. Specifically, it is requesting to erect a cupola with cross on the roof of the existing chapel, thus altering the outward appearance of its property. Section 17 states there can be no expansion of the building itself, and also that by outward appearances, the property is residential to maintain its compatibility with the neighborhood and character of the area. Putting items into airspace is by definition physical expansion. Erecting a cupola and cross expands the existing structure. The cross and cupola identifies the building as a non-residential Eastern Orthodox church and changes the character of the area. The description, decorative, and it's a parens, seems to imply that the expansion serves no functional use. The cupola and cross expansion are crucial symbolic elements of Christ at the Sea's systematic plans to expand the chapel. Additionally, at an evening service on March 28, 2009, at the Christ at the Sea Chapel, resident Achilles stated that the group planned to expand the property. He indicated that included the cupola and putting the roof over the inner courtyard so that they could enclose it with walls such that it would become contiguous with the chapel. Civil disobedience is planned should the city refuse to approve expansions. And, in parentheses, the city can just come and tear it down themselves. Orthodox priest Virgil Miller Newton, leader and resident of Christ at the Sea, has historically ran adolescent rehabilitative centers that relied on systematic psychological and physical abuse and denied the adolescents in his care dignity and human rights. He has lost and settled more than $16 million in abuse lawsuits. As of 2007, Miller Newton has been listed on the Eastern Orthodox Abuse Survivors site, POKROV.org. Miller Newton can only perpetrate his abuse through the implied and symbolic power he generates through public symbols such as a cupola and cross. He is an institutional abuser, and ARIA is petitioning the city not to allow him the means to continue his abuse. Please do not give him the means to perpetrate this abuse and deny his request to expand his operation. Sincerely, Dr. Tara Stewart, President of ARIA.
There you go.
The city received an email today from James W. Kelly. The title of it is No Miller Newton Cults on 4th Street East. I'm hoping for an overflow crowd for tonight's special masters hearing. I've informed residents about Miller Newton, and he is once again trying to scam the city and residents and encourage them to attend, forced by numbers. The residents do not want Newton to once again backdoor the city, which the city seems to enjoy. I think the city will finally see that Newton has no support for his neighborhood. He did hold a cult meeting Saturday at his chapel. I have pictures that the vehicles were parked in a dangerous way. The end of the vehicles were sticking out in the road. My only hope was a car would come around the corner and total the cars that was sticking out in the road. I will try and provide these pictures to the city clerk as soon as I can. I have one additional one, is from Michael Sherman, American Institute of Certified Planners, 1878 East Winwood Way, Tallahassee, Florida, 32311, and a phone number. It's addressed to me in a memorandum form on October 20th. The subject matter is again 09.04. Background is pretty much identical to what I read. The applicant, Christ at the Sea Foundation, is requesting a modification of the previously adopted special exception used for 04.5 granted February 7, 2005, and modified June 3, 2005 and November 20, 2008. As noted in the special magistrate agenda, the applicant is specifically seeking to change the outward appearance to permit installation of a decorative cupola. This change in outward appearance includes the installation of a 51-inch by 45-inch decorative cupola with a 1-inch by 2-inch by 38-inch ornamental cross on the roof. The next is the standard for review, and the individual has provided the exact same verbiage as identified in the code section 110-124. The item that is specifically highlighted and bolded is number 4, that the use will be compatible with adjoining development and the proposed character of the district where it is to be located. Standard for denial. Section 110-112 of the city's land development code establishes the standard by which special exception requests will be reviewed against. The review standard directs the special magistrate to deny any special exception when not in harmony, parentheses, with the purpose and intent of the land development regulations. The specific language is found below. Denial, section 110-122, denial. Section 110-122 of the land development code provides that the special magistrate may deny the special exception uses when not in harmony with the purpose and intent of the city's land development regulations as outlined in this article. Planning Commission review. Planning Commission reviewed the petition and recommended to the special magistrate that the petition be denied. This recommendation for denial is based that by allowing for the modification of section 17 of the special exception use application 04.50, the property no longer maintains its compatibility and outward appearance of a residential dwelling unit. Section 17 further states that there shall be no expansion of the building itself or the use.